Hi everyone, and welcome to the Trade on Sports horse racing app if you're joining us. So after you've logged in, you'll have seen on your right side the Trade on Sports horse racing. So we're just going to go ahead and open that up. Now what I'm going to do in this session is I'm just going to go through the console for you. It's very straightforward, and then afterwards we're going to go racing, and we're going to be using an alert during the course of that racing, which I'll explain to you in this video. So when you first come into the app, you'll see here are two things up on your top left side, which is race card summary and the race card. So first of all, race card summary, very straightforward. It is just a list of today's racing, the courses, the distances and the times, and you can reduce those down to the next hour and the next 5 minutes, and also put alerts on for the sound. So today we have racing from Curragh, Epsom and Southwell, and Folas was cancelled or abandoned. Very straightforward there. So let's get on to the main thing. Let's get into it. The race card itself. So again, on the left hand side you'll see a list of today's races. It's Sunday. It's a nice kind of spaced out day for me to show you this. And what we're going to do is we're going to work through the card slightly from left to right, and then we're going to go from right to left. So again, pretty obvious down the left hand side, lists of races, distances, the amount of runners in each race, followed by the volume. And on the right of that, we're similar to the racing post layout. You've got the runner, the rider, the trainer, and the Betfair graph with the draw number and the actual horse's number in the race, followed by its current Betfair price to back and to lay. So again, all very straightforward, and what we're looking at here is the first race at Curragh, which takes place at 1:30. We're about 20 minutes out from that now, so that's a good way to start because we're not going to be trading this race. Now let's get on to the real details. If we work our way over to the right, which is slightly off screen if you're at 100%, each horse has its form, the last time it raced, its age, sex, obviously in this case colts, gelding, and whether it won or it placed. So not a lot to show here on this race because if you're familiar with reading form, obviously it's a maiden, so it won't have too much information. But what it does contain is how the horse did in play, which is similar to what time form offer. And as we go through the races, we'll see more and more information on handicaps and stuff like that. So again, very straightforward down the right hand side. Horse's last 4 race form and details on the horse. Now I'm just going to turn this off for a second, stop it flashing. Okay, so what's this all about then? What is the Trade on Sports horse racing app all about? Well, it's about following the money. And we start following the money from early bird, so about 11 in the morning. And then progressively during the day, the odds are stored and re-evaluated in the app. So if we look at this first column here as we work right to left, we've got price history. So very obvious, the horse opened this morning at 1.67 and then continued to drift. So we arrive at 1 hour from the race column now. So we get the morning price, and then we start monitoring the price of the horse from 1 hour inwards. So if we look at this odds on favourite here, opened at 1.67 in the morning. As we got to an hour out, which was around about 12:30 this afternoon, he's drifted, and then 30 minutes he's also drifted. And now when I say drifted, it's because it's in red. And if it comes in, it is then green. So there's been a reversal here at the 20-minute mark, and people have started to take this price after it's drifted, and it's now started to come in, as you will see on the Betfair graph here, but in much more detail, much more easy to read. And it's a traffic light system. It's red or it's green, and that's what's really going to help you see where the money's going and how quickly and what the amount is that's moving in that direction of that horse. And then we get progressively tighter up to 1 minute before the race. So this is the price history, and straight away we can see horses here that have opened up 60s have come into 21 and drifted, done nothing. Actually, light blue is just neutral, just done nothing, and then come in, drifted. So instantly you form a picture in your mind about what that horse is doing in the lead up to a race from 11 a.m. and that goes right to the end to 1 minute. So what is the price moves column? Well, the price move column is just a rehash of this in percentage terms. So what we're looking for is a horse that is coming down in its odds. So these represent the odds. Yeah, so 2.4%. So when we look at a horse, let's take the second favourite here. This point, my microphone failed, but what I've done is, in post-production, I've gone forward on this race to when we have the complete data, which is about a minute before the off, and the alert, if relevant, would have been sent out. So let's talk about price history and price moves column. As we know, the price history gives you the odds progressively from 11 a.m. right through to 1 minute before the off. So, for example, we're looking at this second favourite. If we looked at the price history at 15 minutes, we can see that it's 9.60, and at 20 minutes it was 9.602. So when we look across left to its actual Betfair price, we can see that it's 15.5 currently. So in the price moves column, when we look at 15 minutes, we can see that there's been a drift of 61.46%, which would indicate from the price history of 9.60 at 15 minutes to its actually current price now, 15.5, that is a 61.46% drift. And the same applies to the third favourite below. If we look at its 15-minute price, it was 29.0 in the price history columns. And if we move along to the price moves, looking at the current price of 19 now, we can see that after 15 minutes here, there has been a 31.03% drop in its odds from 29 to 19. So I hope that makes sense. Now, of course, when a horse is all green, it goes without saying there is money constantly going on that horse to be backed, and also when a horse is going in the opposite direction, as you'll see with the second favourite and indeed the fourth favourite here, very large drifts. Again, a really clear picture, a traffic light footprint. You can see at a glance, you know, are there a lot of horses being backed in this race? Are there a lot of drifters? Is there only one real favourite? Is there an outsider that's coming in? This is all different patterns you'll see, and the more you study them, of course, the more you'll start to recognise things as we go on, and we talk about this in the room as well. So let's move on to the volume column, which is just to the right of the pink Betfair lay column. So what the volume is doing, if you hover over it, it will give you the readings, but to actually look at one in bold is how much money that horse has taken. So we can see on the odds on favourite here that it's taken £99,000, and in yellow is the book percentage. So it's telling us that it's taken 70.24% of the book, and in blue below it is the implied probability of that horse. We look at the odds, 15.5 on Betfair, and that gives us an implied probability of 6.5, yet the horse has taken 8.7 of the book, which brings me to the column on the right, which is difference. So that does that sum for you. So looking at the odds on favourite, the difference between 70.24 and 69.44, which is the actual book and implied odds, is only 0.8. We move down to the second favourite, we have a difference positive of 2.25. A handy tool for looking at what the actual market thinks as compared to what the bookies are taking. And what we'll find is most of the money starts coming in at about 3 minutes. We tend not to sort of look at the actual volume so much and the book movement. but it is part of the filter that will give you the alert. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on and talk about this alert, because we're going to show some races after this. Take your time to study this video, go back and listen to it again. As I think it's very straightforward. Stephen's done an excellent job on producing this to make it very user-friendly, and at a glance you can see first and third favourites are having money backed in, second is drifting. So now we come to our final column, BBM, which is situated between difference and the 3-minute late column. BBM is the best book move in percentage. So a low odds horse will take up more of the book, so we'll always have the biggest book moves. For example, something going 3 to 2.5 is a lot more significant than something going from 200 to 100, as big odds obviously only take up a tiny percentage of the book. So if we see here, we can obviously see that the odds-on favourite has a very large best book movement because he is the favourite and there's been a lot of money for him. Let's talk about the criteria 1.1 that we're going to be using. Well, after we've been studying these horses for about 2 or 3 months, and we're talking about flat, national hunt, all types of distances, all types of weather, all types of going, we have been filtering, and that includes courses. So all that information gathering has been done by Stephen. He's done a brilliant job of this, and so we're constantly evolving this app to reduce these filters down to what we feel are really good opportunities in the market. And we have one for you which we want you to start with, and that is criteria 1.1. What is criteria 1.1? Quite simply, it's any horse race from 5 furlongs up to 8 furlongs or 1 mile, so sprints, and only runners between 6 to 12 runners, and the top 3 in the market. So that is the filter that we are going to play and the alerts that you are going to receive. What we wanted to do was start off with a filter that we know has been successful. We are still experimenting with another criteria and a few others for that matter. These might come up for chatting in the room, but we don't want to put you out there with all of these alerts and suddenly you're doing 2 or 3 per race. We want you to get used to the system, used to the app, and keep your betting reduced for now while you integrate into the system and learn how it works, and therefore reducing the liability or exposure that you will have. So I hope that makes this part of the app, the console, all clear. We've got 3 races for you today that I've recorded, which I'm showing you the alert and the console, which also you'll see, and then the actual race. So thanks for watching this far. Here come the races. Okay, so here we are back at the 440 at Epsom, which is 1 mile handicap race, 8 runners. In this case, we're going to show the criteria 1.1 alert now. And it will be a back of, as we expected, Arcadia Flynn. The only thing I'd say here is there's a lot of green. So there's 3 or 4 popular horses in the market, but we are going by the criteria and the filters here, and we have the alert to back Arcadia Flynn at 3.75.
Arcadia Flynn making modest late gains. Marcella is out in front though, and clear with a furlong to go. Marcella streaks on by 5 lengths or so. Malabelli in second place at the moment. Marcella is out in front and clear. Late gains from Arcadia Flynn, but much too late. Marcella for Oisin Murphy. Marcella wins well. Second place went to Arcadia Flynn.
Okay, so there Arcadia Flynn flying at the death, didn't quite make up the ground. Interesting race there, with quite a few horses were backed, but we are sticking with this criteria 1.1 regardless of that. So let's move on to the next. Okay, so we're back at Epsom for the 5:15, 10 runner race, 7 furlong sprint, and fully expecting an alert for the favourite here, which is Come On You Spurs. So I'll just pop that on the screen for you.
Come on, you Spurs in 4th place, followed further back by Society Line and Tanmawi and Hodler with a bit of work to do. 2 furlongs left to go. He's going okay, Hodler. Need to get a little bit of a move on though as they head then to the final furlong. Legal Reform, the one to catch. Come on, you Spurs over on the far side, followed by Red Robin. Further back then to Hodler into a distant 4th. Come on, you Spurs. Just in front here from, in 2nd place, Legal Reform. Come on, you Spurs. And Sheen Murphy has had a great day. They win well together. Time for 2nd, Legal Reform and Hodler. And just in behind those was Red Robin.
And then we go. 2 alerts so far today, and 1 second and 1 winner. Come on, you Spurs. We appear to be doing quite well at Manchester United at the moment as I'm recording it. So yeah, good win there. Right, let's move on to our final race in this video. So on the screen now is our alert for this race. Street Life, backing at 4.2.
Heading down towards the last furlong and a half. It's Sankari and course specialist Street Life. Vladimir still every chance. Becca's Duchess is next. Well inside the final furlong. Sankari trying to shake them all off. Street Life is still running on. It's Sankari from Street Life. Sankari will take the spoils. Street Life 2nd. Becca's Duchess 3rd. Then Vladimir, Overnight, Oates, Lil Wayne and 99.
Okay, 2nd for us there. So I hope you've enjoyed the videos, and please remember that for the time being we will just be doing this filter criteria 1.1, and you must only back that horse that on the alert you receive, simply because that's how we can keep our P&L. You mustn't go off piste and try and back other horses looking at what you see on the screen. The alerts are there for a reason. We've run a lot of research and data on those. And we're going to be starting with just those for the first week or 2, and then we'll be talking in the room about the other criteria as well. And Stephen's done a fantastic manual as well as an introduction. Hopefully that will give you the start you need to your journey on Trade On Sports horse racing app. And yes, we'll see you in the room.